It's time for Fridays with AI, where we ask AI to rewrite Philly sports history. Every Friday, only on This Day in Philly Sports History.
That's right. It is time for Fridays with AI, brought to you as always by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com, use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. Get geared up for a red October. Get ready for Eagles season. Help my girl Devin out. Buy that Philly Fanatic shirt. It makes a great gift, and portions of the sales go to Chop. What a great, she's awesome. So go support Devin, Philly Goat, and use that promo code Jim Montgomery. So we're on the eve of the NFL season. And of course, we've done this once before, pre or post free agency and draft. But now that the rosters are kind of set, now that the chips are kind of falling and teams are actually preparing for their opponent in week one, when AI dropped by this week, I said, we need to simulate, taking everything into consideration, what the Eagles 2025 season will look like. Now, quick note on this, the original projection happened pre-Micah Parsons trade. So obviously, once that trade happened, I had to get back on the phone, call AI, and say, yo, this is what just happened. And AI was like, I was thinking of you, and I've already have it updated. So this is up to the minute, the season projection for the Eagles post Micah Parsons trade. And I think we all are looking at this schedule, first 4 games, as a tough stretch for the Eagles, and they'll likely get off to a slow start. AI doesn't think so. AI thinks they get off to a fast start, despite what everyone is expecting. Even mentioned that in the simulation, saying everybody's expecting a slow start, but the Eagles are going to pick up right where they left off. AI has them going 7-1 through the first 8 games heading into the bye. The only loss is in KC because they struggle in the red zone. They had the Kansas City on the ropes, just could not get in. And of course, everyone here is freaking out after the Kansas City game. Eagles 1-1, can't score in the red zone. But the defense comes out hot and is very stout. The front 4 is just spectacular. And offensively, they're more balanced. Yes, they still are run-first team, but because the run sets up the pass, it opens up things a lot more for Jalen, like we saw against Washington and the Chiefs. Coming out of the bye, though, they go to Green Bay on Monday night and lose. And they had this game as a loss pre-Micah. Doesn't really change the score, AI said. Like they said, Micah is Micah, whatever. So they do lose in Green Bay and gives the Green Bay Packer fans hope and kind of the sense of revenge because of the tush push. But they do come back the next week at home and beat Detroit in an epic game. And this is huge for tiebreaker purposes and the fact that this is the game everybody wanted to see in the NFC Championship game. But it's a close one, but the Eagles do win it. Now, this is where it gets a little dicey. AI did not change any of the other games, but did say this one could be a swing game. Originally, with Micah, they had them going down to Dallas and losing. But who knows with that? So we'll keep it as a loss for right now. They lose to the Cowboys, go out to LA, squeak one out against the Chargers, come home, blow out the Raiders, and then the defense dominates Washington 2 of the final 3 games season. 2 of the final 3 games of the season, and then they lose a close one up in Buffalo. And then that last week, that game originally was to clinch the division. AI does say that likely the division will be wrapped up because they see Washington falling back this year, and they had the Cowboys as the Eagles' prime competition in the NFC East. So this changes things a little bit. So AI did say that maybe the Dallas game is a win, the final Washington game is a loss, but overall it does not change their final record. But due to the tiebreaker and the teams in the NFC Central, the Eagles do get the number 1 seed. They finished 13-4. One way or the other, they're not sweeping the division, and that was AI was very clear on that. They're like, Micah or not, the Eagles will not sweep the division. They will drop 1, so likely go 5-1 in the division, whether that's to Dallas, whether that's to Washington. we'll have to see. So they do get the bye, 13-4, NFC East champs, number 1 seed. Some stats: Jalen Hurts throws for 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, rushes for another 10. AJ and Devontae both go over 1,000 yards. Saquon kind of takes a step back after having 2,000 yards and only gets 1,200 yards rushing. That's okay. 1,200 yards is still a pretty damn good season. Adds 12 rushing touchdowns. But defensively, this is where it is. They're a top 5 scoring defense. It's hard to score against the Eagles in this AI simulation. Jalen Carter breaks out with 11.5 sacks. Nolan Smith continues his breakout, has 9 sacks. And then Quinyon and Cooper are lockdown corners. Quinyon only gets 3 interceptions, but AI did mention mostly that was because teams don't throw to his side. So I would certainly take that. So now what does it mean for the playoffs? AI, even after the Micah trade, still has the Lions winning the NFC Central, which means the Packers come in once again in the divisional round. And after a slow start, Packers come in fired up, feeling confident that they beat the Eagles earlier in the season. But Saquon carries the load, as he always did last year, leads the Eagles to the victory and setting up the NFC Championship game that everybody wanted to see last year, Eagles versus Lions. And after their epic game during the season, they play another one. Eagles win 24-23 when Jake Elliott kicks a 49-yarder late in the fourth quarter. The Eagles go on to the Super Bowl, the 3rd time in 4 years they're in the Super Bowl. This time, though, their opponent are the Baltimore Ravens, and it's an epic matchup between Lamar and Jalen, defensive battle, chess match, as AI called it. Lamar Jackson gets a late drive, gives the ball back to Jalen with a chance to win it, and then the drive stalls at midfield. Couldn't quite get them into field goal range to give Jake Elliott a chance to send it to overtime. But there you have it. AI has the Eagles going back to the Super Bowl, losing to the Ravens, getting the number 1 seed, and winning the division. Some other news around the NFL. Cowboys were a wild card team, pushed the Eagles to the division. The AI did say after the Micah trade, you could probably swap Washington and Dallas in this scenario. They had Washington going 8-9. He said they might go 9-8, maybe 10-7 now with the Cowboys. Giants win 6 games. I think that's a good improvement. They're going to be good defensively. And then, if you believe in Jackson Dart, okay. But what are your thoughts on AI's projection of the Eagles season up to the minute, post Michael Parsons trade, working late last night trying to get this stuff done? I'd take that. I mean, I think once you get to the Super Bowl, you have a chance to win it. I certainly would be happy with this season, be disappointed at the ending. But with the Eagles with a chance to win back-to-back, certainly would take it. But what are your thoughts? Where do you see the Eagles going? And what are your thoughts on this week's Fridays with AI, brought to you by Philly Goat? Go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order.